and I just want to thank you very much. There was a reason we chose Egypt, because you were very helpful, and very, very helpful. 1,000 years to 500 years, but whatever it is.
And also beyond. Let's listen into the president right now, who has just begun to opt for Israeli hostages, those moments. But now the next chapter. President Trump arrived in the Egyptian city of... This is a CBS News special report. I'm Tony DeCopel in Jerusalem, and we are coming back on the air with the latest on what has already been a monumental day here, a monumental moment unfolding in the Middle East. All 20 living Israeli hostages already reunited with their loved ones today after more than 2 years. Union, fathers with their mothers, with their daughters, with their families, their wives, for the first time. Other world leaders. Earlier, if that wasn't enough news for you, the president gave a speech to the Israeli parliament, and there has been joy across this region, in Israel and also beyond. Let's listen into the president right now, who has just begun to speak.
And it's really working out incredibly well. The hostages, as you know, were let go on time, on schedule. The very sad situation of bodies, which was always a sad situation, and they're being sought out, and they're working with many different people, finding some were brought in and some were not, and they're working out to find out where those bodies are. It's hard to believe that you even have to say something like that. It's so sad. It's so sad. But what's not sad is that we have finally, after, I guess they say 3,000 years, I've heard from 3,000 years to 500 years, but whatever it is, it's a lot. But this was the one, this was the granddaddy of them all, and frankly, I thought this was probably going to be the toughest, and maybe in many ways it was, but we had a lot of good talent. Steve Witkoff, Jared, Marco, and Pete, and General Kane was so great. John Ratcliffe was incredible. We had an amazing array of talent, and we were helped by, in particular, the countries represented at this table. I will say, Tamim, you were fantastic, and your country is unbelievable, and I don't think they give you a fair shake. They talk about you as though you're not a nice person, and you happen to be a nice person. You happen to live in a little tough neighborhood. You're surrounded by everybody. And without you, this wouldn't have happened. And I just want to thank you very much. That's Qatar. And he's an amazing leader. And another man who's been a friend of mine for a long time. I don't know what it is. I like the tough people better than I like the soft, easy ones. I don't know what the hell that is. It's a personality problem, I suspect. But this gentleman from a place called Turkey has one of the most powerful armies actually in the world. It's much more powerful than he even lets known. If you look at some of the recent conflicts, he was at the top of them, and he was winning them, and he did win them. And he doesn't want any credits. He doesn't want anything. He just wants to be left alone. He's a tough cookie, but he's been my friend. And every time I've ever needed him, he's been there for me. So I just want to thank President Erdogan, Turkey. And they don't have a problem with him because he is difficult. They call me. They said, would you do me a favor? Could you speak to Erdogan? And I do. And he never fails us. Right, General? He never fails. He's amazing. So I just want to thank you for the friendship. It's good. Thank you very much. And then, of course, we have the host tonight. And I just want to thank you very much. There was a reason we chose Egypt, because you were very helpful. And very, very helpful. Everybody wanted to have this, but we really thought it was appropriate. And you are a great leader. You have very little crime. You have problems that other countries don't have. And of course, nothing's perfect, but the job you do is amazing, and I want to thank you. Another one, we've been my friend right from the beginning. During the campaign against crooked Hillary Clinton, have you heard of her? We were both downstairs waiting to go up to meet this gentleman who has a place called Egypt, the oldest civilization. They say 6,000 years. China's 5,000 years, but you're actually number one, 6,000 years. Can you believe it? But the oldest, they say, civilization. But so I went up to meet him first, and we liked each other so much that she waited for about an hour and a half. And I think your meeting lasted about 2 minutes with her. So I always remembered that. But that was our first meeting. We had great chemistry together. And he's a fantastic man and a fantastic general, by the way. But he's a great president. And I want to thank Egypt and all of your representatives for treating us all so well. So we're really representative of a whole group of nations, and they're sitting behind us, and you know most of them. I can tell you this guy's got so much money. They all have so much money. There's more money and power sitting behind us. I love that they're behind us. We've never been sitting behind anybody before. This is a very unique position for them, but they are seriously, they're among the most powerful countries in the world, the richest countries in the world, and there's never been really an assemblage like what we have today. I don't think I've never seen it anyway. And I want to thank everybody for being with us. Man, I just solved the war for him. Azerbaijan. Oh, did I do a good job? Where did you come picture here? Where is Arius? You guys are still getting along, right? They fought for 32 years, and about 1 hour we settled it, right? And they like each other now, too. It's good. That's great. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here. Italy, she's a very strong ruler. She's doing a great job. You're doing a great job. Thank you very much. So many, but we're actually going to be making a speech after this, so this is just a very important signing, but we're doing a signing, then we're doing a speech, and then I may stay behind with the leaders just to talk about that, some things without the press. I want to thank the media for you've been so respectful on this deal. You know the deal, and I really, it was so pleasant to watch. I was on the plane for quite a while listening to the various newscasts, and they were all fair. They were talking about how incredible this is. This is an incredible day for the world, let alone the Middle East. So I just wanted to thank the media. They really treated it with respect. I wish you could be like that on other things, but that's perhaps too much to ask for. But on this, tremendous, everybody feels the same. Just tremendous respect, and we appreciate it very much. Can we get the documents, please? Okay. Okay.
You are watching a historic moment here in Egypt at Sharm el-Sheikh, Egyptian city, as President Trump, surrounded by other world leaders, signs a ceremonial document behind a banner that says "Peace in the Middle East." This is to commemorate today's milestone moment, the release of the hostages, aid into Gaza, and the first step toward this broader peace plan that could lead in a very good direction. The president calls it a new day in the Middle East. 3,000 years, he just said, to get to this point. Also, many hours behind schedule as I bring in CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. We are behind today, Nancy, as you travel with the president or in Sharm el-Sheikh. We are behind, but this is no less important for it. It is a big day. There is no hiding that. What stood out to you so far?
Well, the fact, Tony, that these leaders are all signing on to this document at all is interesting. Technically, they don't need to sign on to the deal. Israel and Hamas have already signed on. But it's a recognition, I think, that if this peace deal is going to survive and flourish and lead to a final end to the war, it is going to require both support and pressure from the wider world, not just regional leaders, but even some of the European leaders who have traveled here on short notice to be in that room with President Trump. Pressure because there are going to be parts of this deal that both Israel and Hamas balk at. Israel, for example, is going to push back if it's required to withdraw from Gaza entirely before Israel feels that all the milestones have been reached. Hamas, because the deal calls on Hamas fighters, if they want to stay in Gaza, to hand over their weapons, something that some Hamas members are not going to be thrilled to do. And so it is going to require pressure from the surrounding Middle Eastern neighborhood and the wider world. And it's also, frankly, going to require a lot of money, particularly from wealthy Middle Eastern countries, to rebuild Gaza and rebuild it fast enough that people can get back to some form of daily life, with a functioning economy, with schools, with some kind of police force, with a governing body. All of these things are required for life to resume in Gaza. That's the kind of fine print that has not been worked out yet. So that's what the president is discussing with these world leaders today.
I deposited $400,000 from my life insurance policy into my checking account